pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Yes, it's got a plaque on it.
But there's no football noise.
Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the minutes of the meeting of September 1st,
Can we build ourselves a
2006.
building?
Make that motion.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Okay, I have a couple of things to report on. First, I'm reporting on items that were approved on September 12th and September 15th, as authorized by you, Resolution 16-097. On September 12th, I concur, on behalf of the office, we concur with Chester Township trustees in not requesting a hearing on a liquor license requested by Perry Group 1 Inc., DBA Perry Indian Cuisine, permit number CN 6693865. On September 15th, I approved a reimbursement request number 1 for FAA Grant 3-39-0054-019-2016 in the amount of $17,943.65, FAA share $16,149, and local county match of $1,794.65 to construct T-hanger taxi lanes, crack seal the runway, design only for airfield lighting system, and PAPI for runway 29. Also approved for Water Resources, a service contract agreement with Imperial Heating and Cooling to perform HVAC services, including labor and programming for 3 years, 2016 to 2019, in an amount not to exceed $9,000, that would be $3,000 per year. There's that. And then we have some financials. We had a full set of financials processed on Thursday, September 15, 2016, under resolution number 16-123. Supplemental appropriation transfers include appropriation transfer from the general fund contingency account to return appropriations to the sheriff's office for fees reimbursed and deposited in the general fund, appropriation transfer from the general fund contingency to building department contract services for design reviews, a supplemental appropriation request for the sheriff for inmate commissary fund, a supplemental appropriation request for the sheriff for sheriff's rotary fund. Cash transfers included a transfer from the general fund to court technology for a portion of 2016 funding. Also a cash transfer from general fund to community development for third quarter payroll funding. Encumbrances included a travel encumbrance for community development and for job and family services. Vouchers of note included a payment in the amount of $11,000 to Maximus Inc. for consulting services for the Commissioner's Office, a payment in the amount of $10,550 to Squire Patton Boggs for legal fees for the Commissioner's Office, and a payment in the amount of $258,100 to Precise Boring of Ohio for the Troy Oaks Force Main project for water resources.
But you're a busy little guy, weren't you?
Did you do the one for the 19th?
The 19th?
That was just the 15th.
You're right. Thank
I
you.
think there's one more.
But wait,
One more.
but wait, there's
There's
more.
more.
But it can't be, I already checked this item off.
I'm sorry. On September 19th, thank you, Christie, resolution 16-124, there was a need for payroll, I believe, to certify revenue for the sheriff's fair rotary fund. Now I'm
Okay then.
done.
Okay. There's more financials.
All right.
Financials.
It's all about money. Okay, for today, we have a supplemental appropriation request for Job and Family Services Public Assistance Fund. In the encumbrances, we have several travel encumbrances, one for the clerk of courts, one for common police court, one for the recorder's office. We also have a then and now for the commissioner's office. Under the vouchers, we have a payment of $33,286.40 to Southeastern Equipment for a mower for the engineer, a payment of $39,308.84 to Iron Hawk Industrial for plow blades for the engineer, and a payment of $13,353.21 to Gloss Pile and Schomer for engineering services for water resources.
Do you know offhand, and there's nobody from the engineer's office here, the mower, Southeastern,
Mm-hmm.
is that the tractor that was hit?
I believe so, because they certified a couple weeks ago the insurance reimbursement for that, so that was probably.
Okay, because I'm just saying
replacement for that.
$33,000 for
Yes.
a mower
Yes.
is,
It's more than your average Toro.
I mean, I hope the tank was full when they bought it, I mean, for that price. But if it was that, if the tractor that,
It is, hang on, let me see, it was in here, it's a 62-inch force cut right more. So, yes, I believe that is the one that was replaced, because like I said, a couple weeks ago, we certified the insurance reimbursement for the one that was destroyed.
okay,
And then they purchased a new one.
thank
So,
you.
the other day, I was following it as it was out.
Me too. That's why I was like.
Hope you
Is it
didn't,
right?
don't scratch it, don't run into it.
It was nice and shiny.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could tell it was the new one. Okay, Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-125, itemizing the financials for the meeting of September 20th, 2016.
I'll make that motion.
Second, sorry.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
I'm not used to seconding.
I have mine, so you're.
Okay. Okay.
I'll trade you.
Can we start the pool on how many times this has to change?
Okay, in front of you I have the, we have scheduled the budget hearings with all of the various departments. We had originally set up that we were going to have Thursday, September 29th, Tuesday, October 4th, Thursday, October 6th, Tuesday, October 11th, and Thursday, October 13th. What we have filled in is most of those dates there. The 4th, I will actually not be here, so we do not have anything scheduled on Tuesday, October 4th. And we've actually managed to kind of, again, scale it down. We had said initially we were gonna try to streamline this process. So we've actually got a little bit of extra space in the, in these dates here in case things need to move around. As Dave said, this is the first cut at it. I'm sure once we start getting into it, we'll have some changes in terms of people's schedules. But for right now, we do have everybody scheduled right now.
It's good.
Okay.
We'll just post it in case anybody's interested in
Sure.
the full schedule, and it will be listed in the minutes, but I don't think we need to reread this
No.
entire thing.
No.
Okay. So the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve the 2016 budget hearing schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
And when you post it, just, I assume you're gonna put a little footnote, subject change.
mean
I'm
Well,
just-
every time we change, we have to go
I mean,
through
you could-
session and
you could
go
put
through
it in that-
amendments and then.
The light print diagonally across the whole thing, you know?
Big print.
And do we have this electronically?
Yes, I do. I will send it over to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know what, I might suggest a revision level on these too. If we're gonna be changing it.
Yes.
Might be revision 1, 2, 3, whatever, that way we keep track of the ones.
I will date this one as of today, as
Leave room
approved
for two
today.
pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Morning, Jessica.
Good morning, how are ya?
Good, how are you?
Good, good. So the first thing on the agenda is, with the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging, they allow us to receive some funding so that we can help folks with their HEAP applications. That's the Home Energy Assistance Program. What we do is we calculate the time the staff who provide services, what their labor is, and basically we get reimbursed for the time that we spend helping complete these applications for seniors. They get some assistance in the wintertime with their heating, fuel, so it's been very helpful. We get quite a few applicants, and oftentimes the application process is a little confusing in the additional material. Yeah,
The government.
imagine that. And some of the attachments, we're able to help get them organized so that it doesn't get stuck in the loop and they can get processed. So it's $3,695, and I have Chris Anspaugh, Adam Bamboxel, Solana Costora, they all participate in helping folks with applications.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the agreement for HEAP outreach funds between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners, Geauga County Department on Aging, and the Western Reserve Area Agency on Aging for state fiscal year 2017 HEAP outreach funds for the period September 1st, 2016 through August 31st, 2017 in the amount of $3,695.72.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
The next items on the agenda, I think 7 through 12. We do have our annual meeting tomorrow. So we have our volunteer of the year, our senior of the year, our home delivered meal volunteer of the year, senior supporter of the year, and the Rose Motley Senior Advocate of the Year. We'll be presenting them with awards, so we do have some resolutions to sign today. The first, Carol Johnson, she is the Senior of the Year, and she received this award. She was nominated by her peers. She's in the Chagrin-Fall Park area, and not only does she volunteer at the senior center, but she also volunteers a lot in the community center. She also does a lot of programs reaching out to the youth in the Chagrin Falls Park community. So she not only is a senior helping seniors, but she also is a good role model for the youth in the Chagrin Falls Park community. We have Susan E. K., also known as Susie K. She is at the United Way. She receives the Rose Motley Senior Advocate of the Year. She goes above and beyond, helping those in the community, seniors and those with disabilities, to receive every resource they can to remain independent. As far as our senior supporters of the year, we have two, Beverly Fertel and April Zuba. They are both out of Arden Courts in the Bainbridge area. They assist the community greatly by providing ongoing education and resources for those with Alzheimer's and dementia. They've come to our facility many times to provide even staff training so that we can understand the disease process better. And they partake in many different workshops throughout Geauga County to educate families and other healthcare professionals on Alzheimer's and dementia. As far as our volunteer of the year, Ann Pito, she volunteers religiously at our senior center at least 3 days a week, all day long, and helps us with office work. Her help has been absolutely tremendous, and because of her, we have not had to increase our office work staff. She comes, it's almost like a job to her, and she is just absolutely spectacular and helps gets all of our files organized. She is absolutely wonderful. And George Pogan is our home delivered meals volunteer of the year, and he is one of those gentlemen that'll call you first thing in the morning and say, hey, I'm free today. What do you have for me to drive? Do you have any cancellations? So just some really great people in the community doing wonderful things for the seniors in the community, wonderful things for those who have seniors in the community, really letting us do our job. It takes us all to work together. So wonderful people, and we look forward to recognizing them more.
The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-126 honoring Carol Johnson as the 2016 Geauga County Senior Citizen of the Year. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-127 honoring Susan E. K. as the 2016 Rose Motley Senior Advocate of the Year. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-128 honoring Beverly Fertel as a 2016 Geauga County Senior Supporter of the Year. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-129 honoring April Zuba as a 2016 Geauga County Senior Supporter of the Year. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-130 honoring Ann Pito for being the 2016 Department on Aging Volunteer of the Year. The Department on Aging is requesting the board approve and execute resolution number 16-131 honoring George J. Hogan for being the Department on Aging Home Delivered Meals Volunteer of the Year.
I'll make those motions.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So does Susan have a sister called Mary?
No, as far as I know, she doesn't have a sister named Mary, but we always thought it was cute. It's Susie K. from United Way. We always thought that was a nice little jingle.
I know, it'll be rhymes.
Thank
Great
you.
is that?
Morning, Jody.
Morning, how are you?
Hi, young lady. How are you?
This is just another one of our clients that had a loan through the infrastructure program. And they paid it off, so we're just asking for the mortgage to be canceled.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and execute a satisfaction of mortgage for Peter D. Brent in the cold chain bridge for installation of a septic system under the revolving loan infrastructure program for property located at 14587 Chestnut Drive, Newberry, as the mortgage in the amount of $12,650 has been satisfied.
I'll make that motion.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Thanks, Joni. Have a good day.
Thank you too.
Anita, good morning.
Good morning. That's the satisfaction mortgage. This is the one that Anita's gonna talk about.
Thank you for getting it on. Make a nice difference for the business. That was, we appreciate the effort.
Go ahead, we're
Okay,
listening.
all right. This is yet another step in the EEI building on the property by Great Lakes Growers on State Route 87, Kinsman Road. And one of the last holdups in their beginning construction is to get an easement from Great Lakes Growers to the Berkshire Industrial Park sewer plant. And they've come to an agreement with Great Lakes Growers, but Great Lakes, we have a loan to Great Lakes Growers as well, so we have a mortgage on their property. So in order for the easement to the other business we're funding to be closed, they needed an easement for Great Lakes Growers, but as a mortgage holder, we had to agree to subordinate our mortgage to allow the easement to be placed. So this is what we have here, is a subordination to allow an easement on the mortgage for Great Lakes Grow, the deed for Great Lakes Growers.
This is a bit confusing, so
I
explain
know.
the whole subordination.
Yeah.
We have two company,
Explain that subordination.
well, they have to run the sewer line across Great Lakes Growers, part of their property, to bring it to engineered endeavors,
Mhm.
we're funding right now.
Right.
But we had previously funded Great Lakes Growers, and so I have a mortgage on Great Lakes Growers property.
Yeah, I get all that, but it's the whole
Oh, okay.
subordination thing that I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
understanding, so explain to me,
We're
who's
saying-
subordinating to whom?
The county, the commissioners, are subordinating their mortgage position to allow an easement to go on it. What we're saying is
Subordinating to who, though?
to allow the P&G, we're letting Great Lakes Growers sign an easement with P&G Capital. What Great Lakes Growers is saying, look, I own this property and it has X value,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna let something happen to this property. And
Oh,
the
I could
value-
affect the value.
The value, we're saying, is gonna stay the same. It'll be
Right.
underground, but it is, we need to know, because now this affects our
Mm-hmm.
position, but it doesn't really.
If they wanted,
Yeah.
Great Lakes Growers, if they want to expand or do something, then.
Right,
are
they
gonna
need to know
dig a
it's
footer
there.
across the
People
sewer
that loan
line
the
and.
money, you
Are
have,
you
you have a
very-
lien on the property,
Right, right.
so they have to say,
But we
yeah,
have
we're okay
to
with that.
acknowledge and address it and say, yes,
Well, you're
we're
impacting the
be
future
fine.
value of that property too, because it's got an
Right.
easement on it now, and should Great Lakes Growers go out of business, God forbid, whoever purchases that property now has an easement on it.
Right.
And they've already, you're giving up
Right.
the rights for that property, or you're allowing them to give up that,
We're,
or change that.
right, so there's a nominal, but it's not like they're selling off part of the property, or, so does the value stay basically the same? Probably, but, yeah, I would say it stays the same. I mean, almost everybody's property has an easement of some sort on it, as things, infrastructure advances, so.
In industrial areas. right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just
water
like
lines,
a
gas
gas
lines,
line,
sewer lines, all
yeah.
that's gotta come through.
Do you have any idea how deep they're gonna bury them?
Boy, I wish Sherry was here. What is it, 6 foot? Is that the standard?
I'm sure below the frost line, so yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 6.
Normally it's 4.
Oh.
I mean, if it's residential, 4 is the standard, but
I
minimum
think
4.
commercial, well, I don't know. I'm sorry, I can find that out.
That's not a big deal. Okay, very good, thank you.
The Office of Community and Economic Development is requesting the board approve and execute the subordination of mortgage to easement between the Geauga County Board of Commissioners and P&G Capital LLC to allow for sewer connection to the Berkshire Industrial Parkway via Great Lakes Growers LLC property in Burton Township.
Make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, Paul.
Good morning.
request that the board acknowledge 2 new hire appointments that Geauga Job Family Services made in the last month. And we did follow the Board of Commissioners recruitment and hiring procedures. One is Teresa Smith as an eligibility referral specialist 2. She started back in mid-August. And she is, both of these positions are replacement positions where people had previously resigned. And then Robert R.J. Stewart, social services worker 2. He comes to us with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice from Notre Dame College and previously worked at the residential youth, as a residential youth specialist at the Cleveland Christian.
Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board acknowledge the following new hire appointments by the Executive Director of Job and Family Services as they have complied with the Board of Commissioners recruitment and hiring procedures. Teresa Smith, eligibility specialist 2, replacement effective August 16, 2016. Robert Stewart, social service worker 2, replacement effective August 29, 2016.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
The second action I have is our annual 4D child support services contract between Geauga County Job Family Services, the Child Support Division, and the Court for Magistrate Services. We come up on this contract every year. It allows us to pay for magistrates' time for the work they do on child support cases, whether it's establishment or enforcement of a case. And then when they pay that to the general fund, we get reimbursed back from the state at a rate of 66%. So we've had this contract for more than 10 years. This year, it's $106.11 per hour. The contract period started July 1st.
I do, but I'll ask you to.
Okay.
I don't want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
The Department of Job and Family Services is requesting the board approve and execute the Geauga Department of Job and Family Services 4D contract between the Geauga County Child Support Enforcement Agency and the Geauga County Common Police Court for Magistrate Services for the period July 1st, 2016 through June 30th, 2017 in the amount of $106.11 per hour.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you.
Morning, Glenn.
Morning.
We're requesting to reject all the bids for the Job and Family Services parking lot improvement. Number 17. We had approximately 8 contractors apply for it.
We need to note on here that it's just because the product is not being completed at this time, because they were,
Well, I mean, the bids were relatively high, although that wasn't, I mean, I don't think they were probably, they're within the engineer's estimates, just a lot of money, and I think because there's other possibilities with that property, they didn't want to move forward this time. And if in the end nothing changes, we go out for bid this, first part of the year where the prices will probably be lower next year anyway.
I mean, this department is requesting the board reject all bids for the Job and Family Services parking lot improvement project.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Number 18 is to award the bid for Apex Construction for the courthouse basement, remodeling it, bringing it up so we can move that to another department over there.
Do you have any idea when that project's?
Oh, we're getting all the paperwork.
It's not gonna start till we give them a contract or sign it, but I'm saying, is there a timeline there?
We're hoping to have it started about the middle of October. If everything goes all right, so we've already started the other room to move the files and everything from juvenile court over into the annex. So
Okay.
that's in the process of being done, so.
And we're doing all that.
Yes. And then we'll start on 2 rooms in the boiler room. library. She said by the end of the month, she should have pretty much everything, all her books.
Okay, thank you.
And we've sorted out the mechanics of building the court to ensure that comes out of the stipend fund?
It appears it's going to be, the money will be certified, it will be spent directly from the Cypre.
And so are they gonna receive the invoices? How's it gonna work?
They'll have to receive the invoices, I think Glenn will probably review them and okay them.
And do we have to have an appropriation, or not appropriation, but a
Encumbrance.
an encumbrance of
Yeah,
some kind?
there'll be an encumbrance set up once.
So they're gonna have to do that on
Yes.
their side,
Yes.
and that's all been worked out though?
Well, I mean, that's just, we finally heard yesterday, that seems to be it's either that or going through the process of having the Common Pleas Court approve a fund transfer, and this just seems to be a little cleaner just to spend the money directly from that fund, so they'll just be the ones.
It's only cleaner if we can, in fact, improving this, we're on the hook now. And so I wanna make sure we get the mechanisms in place. And so let's talk about that.
Well, when we go do the contract, this will be kind of, once the contract is prepared, then one of the steps before we bring it to you guys to approve the contract is we go to the auditors, and we have to have a stamp on there that says this is going to be paid for out of this fund.
And all the mechanisms that we put in place at that point in time to make sure that the invoices go to the proper place to pay and so on and so forth.
Yeah, yep.
Right, go ahead.
The maintenance department is requesting the board award the bid to Apex Construction and Management Company Incorporated for the courthouse basement rehab project in the amount of $114,800 as they represent the lowest and best bid.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
The other part to that is they had approved, the court had approved, sometimes these things tend to exceed what there's a plus or minus 10% or something, they approved
Yeah.
covering that, so whatever we gotta do to put in place that billing process, to make sure they cover that. Right. So, okay, good.
The next one is Bob Anderson. We're gonna move him from the maintenance, move him up a step to senior trades mechanic.
Hardworking guy.
He's been with us from January 2013, so he's been doing really good. He wants to step up to the next position, so with that, also hiring 21, Kenneth. He's out of Painesville. He's been in maintenance, plant maintenance type atmosphere. With his electrical and everything background, I think he'll really fit in good here.
And this is replacing for Andy.
Actually, this one, Ken will be taking the place of Joe.
Oh, okay.
So, and then the last, or number 20 would be increasing the current maintenance from 1 to 2 because we just had Andy currently. So, and then the other position would be because Bob was a maintenance worker, he moved up into a senior position, so that would be the 2 spots open. And that's 19 through 21.
The maintenance department is requesting the board approve the promotion of Robert E. Anderson to the position of senior trades mechanic number 1905 at the rate of $14.71 per hour with a 180-day probationary period to be effective September 25th, 2016. The maintenance department is requesting the board increase the current posting for the position of maintenance worker number 1904 from 1 to 2 positions. These positions will remain posted until filled. The maintenance department is requesting the board approve hiring Kenneth S. Kovach to the position of senior trades mechanic number 1905 at the rate of $14.71 per hour with a 1-year probationary period, which offer of employment is contingent upon a successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions and will then be effective October 3rd, 2016.
I'll make those motions.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
You all have a good day.
You too. David.
Get moving. No, no. You know how to make an entrance. Yeah. He saunter. He figures. I'm good, are you?
Yeah.
Man.
Planning doesn't use paper.
I was just looking at my desk and saying, you know, I could use more paper.
You know, when computers came along, we all said, you know what, there won't be any need for paper anymore.
Yeah, they just made it easier to generate more. Instead of one person getting a copy, 12 people get a copy, and 11 of them don't need it.
Yeah, you got electronic copies, you feel like you gotta print them to make sure
Yeah,
they can
so
read
you
them.
don't forget, you put it in your stack, I gotta deal with this.
But seriously, you got a filing cabinet to put all the paper in.
Yes.
It's round. It sits at the end of my desk. And it's round.
Round file. There's a rubber
I just
band.
threw the rubber band at you.
Oh, my.
Oh,
That was
good
a pretty,
for you.
I
It
was
was
impressed.
nice, you know.
Impressed with the throw, I gotta tell you. I gotta find one. Had a sharp point.
This one is rather simplistic. It's just a combination of two existing sublots in Edwards Landing, which is a subdivision within a subdivision known as Canyon Lakes. If you're familiar with it.
Flint Rock comes in off of River Road
Yes. And,
to the west there.
Yeah. And actually, it's kind of the main drag throughout the development of Canyon Lakes. As you know, it runs east-west. And Edwards was approved by the Planning Commission more than 10 years ago. So all the improvements are in. The road is in, the sewer is in, the water is in. It's a private road, so the township's not responsible for the maintenance of it. It's the HOA. I'm not sure exactly the intent behind the consolidation, other than I think they're looking to build a larger home and couldn't meet the setbacks. So they wanted to, I think, consolidate for that purpose. Again, I'm just speculating. So we've got two existing sublots, 20 and 21 of record, and they're about 2/10 of an acre each right now. So this will be 0.4255 when all is said and done. I got the zoning inspector sign off on it. I have county engineer rechecked the plat. Jerry Morgan is fine with it. It's just elimination of one of the tie-ins, of course, in sewer and water.
You said the engineer rechecked?
Check the.
Okay, because it rechecked and reject all sound the same if you got wax in your
Not
ears.
about,
Okay,
recheck. Thank you.
rechecked, okay.
Recheck the closure, and check the pins and monuments, make sure everything was in. Planning Commission approved it last Tuesday at their meeting. So you're at the end of the line, so to speak. So if you approve this today, I can then release it to the title company and get this recorded. Maybe this afternoon, yet we'll see. But that's really it. I think this might be the last building site in this particular area of Edwards. I think everything else is built. Canyon Lakes has a ways to go yet, by the way. Not built out Canyon Lakes yet.
How many lots do they have in there yet? that they've not-
Canyon, I'm not sure, Skip, how many lots might yet be platted, but roughly speaking, when all is said and done, Canyon will have over 600 units.
And how many's in there now? You don't know?
I'm not sure, Skip, it's
That's a lot
just a
of units.
wild guesstimation, maybe 500.
Oh, okay, so they're more than half.
Yeah, oh, yes.
So there's a lot of homes back there.
Oh, yeah, yeah, we started this job in the late 70s.
Well, if we combine these two, they have one less.
There you go.
Just,
That's right.
But they couldn't add more later than what we anticipated. You never know.
Okay.
They might make.
They're gonna be out on the freeway.
Yeah, actually, that area by the freeway is really what's left. Kind of
That's an open
south.
space, so that's like jointly owned by the Homeowners Association, is what I'm reading here?
There's some HOA that's wrapped around each one of these phases in the development, if you will, Dave. And they did that in part so that, again, the backyard areas of these lots would face open space. And additionally, no driveways come out onto Flintlock, because again, the open space is contiguous with Flintlock throughout. All the driveways come out on the side roads, if you will, that intersect
I see,
Flintlock.
yeah.
That was the overall design scheme.
Yeah.
So they've maintained that as they've gone through the various phases.
So that's a private road.
Edwards is private. For the most part in Canyon, the roads are public and maintained by the township. But
Yeah.
there are a few segments of this development that are private.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, what were you
No,
thinking?
nothing. I was gonna ask a goofy question. I'm kind of curious
There's no
why the
such
commission, no, yeah, that's right. Do I ever ask goofy questions? Why are the commissioners even involved in this process? I mean, if the planning commission blesses it and the zoning, the Bainbridge blesses it, I'm not even sure why the commissioners should have even a say in it. I'm kind of curious about
Per the
that.
ORC, all plats of subdivisions must be approved by the Board of Commissioners before they're recorded.
Interesting. There you go.
Your role is much more extensive in scope, obviously, when we have a plat that involves improvements, roadway, sewer, water, because the board is accepting those for dedication, so, once they're built. So your role is much more extensive in scope, if you will, on those matters, but something like this is rather routine. But again, I can't get it recorded without your prior approval per the ORC.
So, an extended goofy question. Is this something we've given our county administrator certain authorities for approval process? Are there certain types of approval do you think we can give you without you having to come and bring those to session?
Not on these matters.
No?
No.
Not that I don't love signing vellum, but just curious. Okay, very good. Thanks for your
No
time.
problem.
The planning commission is requesting the board approve and execute the replat of Edwards Landing subdivision sublots number 20 and 21 in Bainbridge Township.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
Thank you so much.
And last but not least, I come before you again.
Save the best for last.
If you hadn't started with the department with a T, you'd be earlier in the meeting.
So if anybody wants any fun, NOACA has got a survey online. I took it this morning, 2-question survey. Complete, if you want to see how a survey is manipulated and steered, completely government manipulation, go to that survey, take a look at it.
2 questions.
That's 2 questions. And they give you coins, and they say, distribute your 50 coins with amongst these 5 questions. Of course, none of those, or many of those 5 questions aren't even on my list of things that I would answer. So I don't want any of those. So putting my 50 coins in these things is ridiculous.
Is there a coin for the taxpayer to give them money back?
No, that's, they, actually, there's a button to push where you get more money from the taxpayer.
Oh,
So
good.
if you push this, we'll go get more money. So if you want to have some fun.
Yeah.
I only bring that up because transit is the topic. And so it's more transit. Let's have more buses, more trains, more.
What do you think, they're hearing footsteps from the autonomous cars or what?
Yeah.
A lot of footsteps from a lot of different.
Yes.
Well, mind the footsteps is the bumper in the back of mine that is gonna bother me when the car drives into.
And on that note,
All right.
number
Go ahead.
23,
Yeah.
24, both the same, we're requesting to hire 2 part-time drivers, Michael Sayer and Charles Battaglia, at $13.57 an hour. Again, both part-time, one would be starting next Monday, and another one would be the following Monday after that. These are to replace, really, these, I talk every week about adding drivers, but now, again, we unfortunately have one driver who passed away over this weekend. And then I had a driver tell me today that, as with the hazard of hiring generally retirees, he wants to start scaling back his driving. He's a part-timer to take his wife traveling, and so he doesn't want to drive in the winter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So really, these are just replacing folks we have. So,
What you're saying is these 2 hires are really replacements,
pretty much.
not new. I mean, not additional.
Not additional.
Yeah.
I'd like to get to the additional sometime.
which offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions and will then be effective September 26, 2016. The Transit Department is requesting the board approve hiring Charles Battaglia to the position of part-time transit driver number 2210-1 at the rate of $13.57 per hour with a 1-year probationary period, which offer of employment is contingent upon the successful completion of the required pre-employment conditions and will then be effective October 3rd, 2016.
I'll make those motions.
Second.
Commissioner Rea?
Aye.
Commissioner Claypool?
I thank you, and John Contract. Have a good day.
You too.
You're the Royers, correct? Did you want to say anything? I've talked to each of the commissioners when they'll be here,
Oh, okay.
so I didn't know.
We brought some stuff to share with you. We'll make it really quick, because we don't want to take the time. Let's see, it's here. Okay, honey?
Okay.
Let me
It's
see.
the first time we've been to these kind of meetings. so
Yeah.
we're a little nervous.
Hi, gentlemen, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Hi.
How are
Good
you?
morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good to see you again. Hi. Hi, you must be, we spoke on the phone.
Yes.
Good morning, we're the Royers.
Is that an R-O-Y-E-R-S?
Yes.
Okay.
R-O-Y-E-R.
But plural would be
Oh,
yes.
Royer,
Did
okay.
we just talk
We
to
are
you
the
and
Warriors.
he got
Yes.
back to them?
Yeah, the mic is progressed.
Oh, I don't think it was working. Here. Anyway, what we started last year and we brought some things to show you. We recognized about a year and a half ago, after watching TV, when 2 policemen were murdered in New York City in their police patrol car, there was a young girl, Samantha Coulis, who took her whole Christmas break, wrote 1,500 handwritten thank you notes. She and her parents flew to New York City to deliver them to the police in New York City. We saw this reported on the news and we decided it was about time. We weren't seeing anybody locally in the whole area standing up for these people. So we decided.
Our first responders.
Our first responders. So we decided to start a movement for first responders recognition. So what we did last year, we went to the mayor of Chagrin Falls, then went to the Chamber of Commerce, started talking to all the different restaurant owners that we knew. We proposed a whole week of recognition to the area responders. So all the restaurants jumped right on board, the mayor jumped right on board. We culminated every day, different restaurants provided meals to the first responders, both to the fire station and to the police station. We put up a big banner, which we brought a picture of. It was recognized in the Chagrin Valley magazine this year. And it says, salute to the first responders spreads across the Chagrin Valley in 2016. We did receive some national attention last year. The National VFW magazine did an article on what the Chagrin Valley was doing and the veterans were involved with raising the flag. We got a flag that had hung over the Capitol, and that was hung at the culmination of the week, which was at the high school football game in Chagrin Falls. So we, all the first responders, the students lined up, the first responders were brought out onto the field and recognized, and the mayor read the proclamation that it's actually a resolution. This year, we expanded through the great help of our goal was to get this to spread all over the country, hopefully, but at least in Ohio. So the Chamber of Commerce was phenomenal. There's 13 different communities in the Chagrin Valley Chamber of Commerce that's headquartered out of Chagrin Falls. And so we put the blanket out. We tried to meet with all the different mayors to get them on board to bring their different individual communities on, and it just went like wildfire. So many of the restaurants agreed to bring food to the different Woodmere, Pepper Pike, Orange, you name them all, Bainbridge, Russell, Newbury. We just wanted the whole area to be blanketed with thank yous, and we encouraged all of the residents in the areas to put red and blue lights up on their porch lights or their pole lights, some areas like Chagrin Lakes, the entire community put red and blue lights up. And they had the police come through at one point, the police, fire, and EMS come through. And at night, they all had their lights on, and they were all standing out at their, at the end of their driveways, clapping and saying, thank you, thank you, thank you.
It's, we feel it's time for us as public citizens to thank the people that keep us safe. And, there's kind of a movement in the other direction, it seems like, in the media at times. So, this banner that goes up, now it went up into a number of different communities. It's displayed during the week, so people can come up and write notes on it, thank you notes, and they're beautiful notes. The banner, that we had one banner last year, it now hangs in the firehouse. And the proclamation is in the police department. And it's amazing.
And in the fire hall.
Until you do something like this, that you see the appreciation of these folks. And it's something that you don't think about normally because you haven't been personally involved with it. But when a policeman or an EMS or a fireman leaves their home in the morning, nothing says they're coming home again.
They put on a uniform, and that makes them a target.
And we just felt that it's up to us as citizens to thank them and make them aware of how much we appreciate it. And our purpose here is to kind of see how we might do this county-wise.
Yeah.
And we don't know how you do that. Either community by community, or if there's something that we could do as residents of Geauga County.
I passed along Chief Deputy Hildenbrand's contact information as being the head of the Fire Chiefs Association, and being the chief deputy and soon to be the county sheriff. He'd be a good person to know what's going on so that they can coordinate whatever ends up getting done, what may be currently being done in these communities.
Well, and I think some of that's being done at the airport this weekend. We had a big
Yeah.
salute to law enforcement, to the folks that
Right.
serve, and so forth. And so I think some of that's already going on. Certainly within the commissioner's office, the thought that I have is we can pass a resolution. People don't really listen to us much anyway. But
Well, that's what they did
but,
in Chagrin, they passed
you
a
know,
resolution.
Yeah.
we can certainly do that, and we all, we speak regularly in support of our law enforcement. In fact, I'll give you this pen, which you know what that pen is?
Oh,
I
no.
do, I was
This
gonna
is
ask you about that.
a thin blue line that
Oh,
demonstrates your
yes,
support of the
yes.
police, so I will
Oh,
give you
really?
this to
Oh,
wear in your lapel.
thank you,
Thank you
thank
very
you.
much.
And,
Where do you get these?
I ordered those online. I think I got it from Amazon or someplace.
Oh, great.
So I have multiple of them. I'll give you that one. If I
Super.
had two, I'd give you one too.
Oh,
I
thank
didn't
you,
bring it
thank
with
you.
me because I didn't know you were going to be
That's
here this
okay,
morning.
we can do that.
But,
Well, we talked to the people at the soldiers, we've been sort of talking all over the place.
Mhm.
And we talked to the Soldiers and Sailors Museum, they had a big first responders event on 9/11. We decided this year that was to honor all first responders. It was a reception all day long, but we decided this year to focus on 9/11 to coordinate the dates, and that's what we put on all of these posters that we put all over the entire, hundreds of them, all over the community. But, that we started on 9/11, it just kind of seemed to work, to get it into people's minds, that to coordinate the thought that these first responders are the ones who put themselves out there for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And so this coming year, in coordinating with the chamber, we decided to start on, I think it's 9/10, to actually start the proceedings, or the salute. We like to go for the whole week because it gives everybody, because they don't all work on the same day. And like, I hung many bows. Like if you go to the Russell Fire Department, you see a big blue and red bow, and banners, and signs. We like for all of them to have a chance to be recognized, so not everybody works, as I said, every day. So that's why a whole week seems to work better.
Well, I think that you all have addressed us the way we were hoping. And, we can put a resolution together or whatever you call it.
So here's another two ideas, and I'm spitballing here a little bit. Oftentimes, organizations, groups will have an event in the center of Sharp,
Mhm.
and they'll put it in the Maple Leaf or whatever paper,
That's a
And
great
they'll have a
day.
day, Saturday was supposed to be a day of prayer. Now it got rained out, or they thought it was gonna rain, so therefore they canceled it. But there was a day of prayer. There's oftentimes days of something. And so you might think about reaching out to the city of Chardon about having an event and making that public and people can come in. The flag store on 87, I don't know if you're familiar with it
Oh,
or
we
not.
go there a lot.
Okay. And so the flag store on 87 has the blue, thin blue flag, thin blue line flag.
Oh.
So you might see American flags with a thin blue line through them.
Yeah.
And those signify support for the police. That's what a thin blue line is.
Oh.
And so you'll see an American flag, you'll see, they're done in two different ways. One of them is an American flag with a thin blue line. The other one is a flag with darker stripes. It's an American style flag with darker stripes, and it has a thin blue line on it. They do the same thing for our fire folks. And so it might be something, and I don't know whether we'd be willing to fly it as a county if the, there's protocols associated with that. We get ourselves into trouble sometimes with protocols. I'm not a politically correct kind of guy, so it might be something we'd be willing to fly for a week during some weeks. That's just an idea. We can throw that out as an idea, and if we supported it, then the county flagpoles could have perhaps during the week you're talking about a flag that recognizes the folks that serve us. And so forth. So just a couple of ideas, I don't know.
Kristen?
So,
Our next meeting is next Tuesday, the 27th. Are, to the best of your knowledge, are all three of us going to be in attendance?
Yes.
I mean, Ralph is,
He's supposed to be back this weekend.
okay, I
So
mean,
he's supposed to be back.
I don't want to sign a resolution of this importance and have absent under one of the, especially a former police officer. Seems a little, I don't know, doesn't seem right. So my thought is, I don't know how long, you say you could prepare a resolution, or
Give us a sample.
give us a sample, and we
Christie generally will take the verbiage and put it together.
yeah, we're gonna have to do it on our,
Sure.
This is
our thing here, letter, or
She does a
whatever
great
the heck
job.
it is here.
Yeah, and she's impressive. Wow.
Yeah, it'll look similar to that
Okay.
with the text that is on it. And then all three of us could do
Oh,
that.
that'd be great.
If it could be done by next Tuesday, that'd be the earliest, and 7 days from today.
Well, Susie's a big, he gave up his, he's a real,
How do we do that?
did we get on the agenda?
I mean, just,
yeah, you just
Yeah.
work through Christie, she'll
Yep.
help you through.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll get your information.
Yes.
Yep.
we can do that.
Yeah, what we did last year was we had
Okay.
the resolutions then framed, and we presented them to the fire hall and to the police station, and they're
We
hanging
can,
there.
if you're on the agenda, I mean, you waited patiently a long time till we finished this meeting. We can
Put it at the beginning.
put it at the start of the agenda and get that taken care of, and then you could go on to,
It's normal weekly meeting of,
well, I'd say the rest of your day, and,
Yeah.
and not, we certainly wouldn't be offended if you left, because every now and then we'd like to. But it's not in the rules, so. But if you work with Christie and David, primarily Christie, she's the boss.
Yeah, really.
She'll,
Okay. We could leave you, let's see, well,
You just gave it
okay, yeah.
You got, yeah.
We
what I
have
can
lots
do-
of, it's been in all kinds of papers and in the news and all kinds of stuff, so we have lots of literature that we've gathered up.
Time to go.
Thank you.
thank you so much for bringing that to
You're
our
very
attention.
welcome.
Do you have an email address that you
Yes,
could,
yes.
could you write down your email address for me? Let me move this up, please, so you can- What I'll do is I will, take this sample and I will generate a resolution that the board can do that will recognize all of the fire departments and the police departments, including the sheriff's department within the county. And then, next Tuesday, we will have that number of originals set, and you can sign one for each one of them, and then we can go to each department.
Nice, yep. Perfect.
Which lends another question, but we'll do that off the record, if we can have representatives.
Yes, we can work on that. Definitely.
Well, one more thing, what our main goal was to get the kids involved, so we went to the school board, Bob Hunt, and they were really on board, especially now that we've reached back out to this young little girl who was 10 years old, she's now 12, to let her know, we communicated with her, to let her know what her actions as a one person can, even a 10-year-old child, can have an effect.
Now, that's the
So-
chagrin board
Yes, sir.
that you're doing? Okay,
But we
well,
like to talk to the
I mean,
Geauga.
some of the people that live in Chagrin go to Chagrin, some go to Kenston,
Right, oh,
and
yeah, a lot.
so on.
The Kinston had their program this year at their first football game, but the game had to be in Solon because they're redoing their field. But they read the names of all the first responders at the game, and it's really caught on, and for young people who are so tuned into communications and TV, and they see a lot of bad things about our first responders, we thought this was an opportunity to try to communicate with them. These are really good folks that are here to take care of us.
I'd take exception with you. A lot of bad things. A few bad things with first responders may have a life of its own, and it's kind of blown out of proportion. I'm confident that there are more good things and so on with first responders than there are the sensationalism that sells newspapers and plays on television ads and so on.
You're absolutely right. I didn't mean to apply it that way. You just blowing up the bad ones. You hear about the good ones, you don't.
Right.
Right, it's probably a very, very low percentage in my guesstimation, and it is a guesstimation, I don't have data on it. But it seems, it's like anything else, when something goes wrong, sells papers,
Right.
people turn on TV.
Well, I can tell if something doesn't go right here, you just take the hammer.
Yeah.
That hammer's been used once constructively in the
Yes.
time that I've been here. There was a bug crawling across the table.
Lord.
And the commissioner that's absent terminated it.
Well, our goal is communication and appreciation. That was our goal from the beginning, so.
Thank you so much for
Thank
your
you.
efforts
I
in
still have
coming
your
here.
phone number, but I will email you the sample of the resolution so you can take a look at it.
Okay, great, that's
Great.
what Beth the Badger
And
said.
this meeting's on YouTube, where we're probably dozens
Well,
of
some of
people.
it, because
Dozens
Mr.
of people.
Royer's been standing in
Oh,
front of the
no.
camera for some of it, so
Yeah.
there'll be some dark blue or black airtime there.
Next time we won't do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you again, thank you again. We got anything else? Anybody else? I move to adjourn. Thanks for coming.
Let me get your first. Go.
Kinda had to correct